Hi, welcome to Soap Recovery, and today I am re-soaping one of my favorite soaps called, I call it Paris. Okay, here's a sample of it, and I'm trying to recreate it. I did this soap with a hanger swirl. It has a delicious smell. This time I'm soaping it because I keep on soaping over and over again. A particular favorite to see if I can get it to the nth degree. I soaped this the other night, and I'll show you the batch I made in another video. It's ready. It's also called Paris, and it's getting ready to be cut. But I also made these lovely little macaroons in glycerin soap and in a different color palette than I did for the other ones. You'll see the difference when you see the two different videos. But I usually, in soap recovery, this hobby or this vocation that I came to, I started because I loved having a creative outlet that didn't involve food. And so I wanted to find something that used all the things I love to do, but didn't actually put on the calories and made me feel well. And so I discovered this passion. I started seeing other soapers on the internet, and I just started to fall in love with this hobby. Plus, I love being able to give the soap away to my friends, and I secretly love how it throws them into breakdown when I give it away, give it to them, because they just want to pay. It's hard, but I know they want to pay. So I got a delicious scent that I want to use called Moscato, and I got it from Rustic Essentials, and I wanted to try this soap again. With a different color palette. On another video, I will show you what the other soap that I made came out looking like. This is the inspiration for making this one called Paris. I did a hanger swirl on it. I love the palette. I love the scent of the soap. I really really enjoyed this soap, and so did my friends. I love making soap. And if you've listened to any of my soap recovery videos, you know I did this as a way to recover from an addiction to sugar, wheat, and flour. And I love to create, but I could no longer bake and carry on the way I was doing before. So I decided, I picked up this lovely hobby. I watched Soap Queen TV and Royalty Soap and Eden Secrets and all these other soapers and Royal Appleberry, and I got very inspired to make my own soap. And so that's what brought me here. So today, this is the very first time I've ever made soap in front of anyone, because I usually feel that the other soapers do such a wonderful job. But I thought I should at least try one, because I have so many friends who receive my soaps and say, how did you make that? And so I thought I would do this one video showing the whole process. So I have a certain recipe that I use that I received from a really lovely soaper who gave me inspiration, plus all I read from Soap Queen TV. That's a wonderful resource for you if you want to get a recipe that will work, that will not ash. Ash is when your soap turns a little gray because it gets cool, and your environment. Usually it's nothing you can do about it, but this recipe that I've gotten has been foolproof. All right. Now you have to notice I'm wearing protective gloves and I'm wearing protective glasses. This is a hobby where you deal with lice, so you have to be very, very comfortable. So I'm going to go ahead and soap this soap for you, and then hopefully we'll get to talk along the way. All right. So I'm going to be pouring my lye water over my stick blender. And I do this just in case. I use a little strainer just in case there's any little sediment, because you never know with your lye. Every once in a while there could be something in there that and you don't want that pocket inside of your soap. Okay, now previously I added my soap, which was, like I told you, Moscato. I added it to my oils. All right, I usually soap at room temperature because I get really nervous that my soap might seize, or my soap might prematurely go the way of solid soap. So I always like to soap at room temperature. Okay, so I'm going to pulse for about 30 seconds until I reach trace. Well, hopefully I was kind enough to fast forward that for a deal of time. I don't want to spend a great deal of time um, working on a soap, and if I spent the whole day making embeds and then I soaped, I might find it a bit too much for me to handle, just too much for me to deal with. So I find that what I'll do is I will do a little bit of everything. Okay, I'll do a little bit of my embeds ahead of time. All right, so these are my 4 colors. I'm going to start with the lightest. Not too much because I want to be able to. Pour. Okay. And then I think I'll go to the purple. All right. And then finally the brown. And oh dear. And I'll put a little speed on it just in case because I can feel that we are heading towards getting into a little bit of a firmness, and I want to be able to drop swirl a little bit, and we'll see. The thing about soaping is I had to forgive myself. Sometimes you never know best laid plans. It might work out the way you want to, it might not. Okay, I'm putting a little titanium oxide in the last batch over here, and I'm going to use my whisk, hold on, first, and then I might have to wash off my blender because I should have done this one first. But I know that I don't believe that they said according to the thing that it will color, sometimes your fragrance will color your soap, and it said it would color it to an ivory, and that's perfectly acceptable for what I want it to do. Okay, so I have my mold ready, and I also have some clips in place. I like to have the clips in place so that when I pour, hopefully I fast forward that to you so you didn't have to wait while I went and got my actual hanger. Okay, it is an actual hanger. I really enjoy this hanger. I got it from the dry cleaner. It is the perfect length of my soap mold. Alrighty, so let me do a little cleanup around the edge here. Alrighty. Alright, let me see if I can get a little bit more out of this, because the more you scrape, the more soap you have, and the less soap that you have to clean. Okay, now I am going to pipe the top of this, and that is why I'm not in a panic. Usually I like to do one of those beautiful swirls and add some mica to it and everything like that, but I'm not doing that this time. This time I'm going to be putting a piping on the top, and then you'll see. And then in a couple of days when I slice this, I'll make another little video for you to see what will all turn out to look like. All right. Okay. And I love the idea of scraping as much as possible because you don't want to have a lot to clean up. And also, I found that the best cleaner is what they used on the birds who get into an oil slick, because this is usually heavy oils, and that's Dawn dishwashing lotion, soap. Really, it's been really good to me. Done a good job. Okay, so I'm just going to now usually, and if I make another video about making soap, I'll show you how to treat the top. Now remember, this is part of my recovery. It's just such a win-win. It makes me feel good, and it helps me stay calm, and a great hobby does that. And then the thing about soap that's so appealing is that soap just gets better and better. It does. It just gets better and better. All right. So I'm going to set this to get ready for the next level. All right. Okay. All righty. Well, my camera cut out, which I think should only be expected as a newbie. But in the meantime, since you last left, I made the icing for this soap. I have to admit, this is my very first time coloring it something other than a white or an eggshell color. I'm kind of excited to see how this will end up. As I say, if you want to see exactly how it's done perfectly, there's so many other channels out there with people who've been soaping for years. I'm new. I haven't even made it past, nothing close to a year yet. Okay? So if you want to see exactly how it's done, I did find that I needed to double my piping recipe to cover one loaf. Usually I do 2 loaves of soap at a time, but I find I can really handle 1 loaf at a time much better. Alrighty. Now, the other soapers, they're so good that they make it look so simple, but it's not. And I've learned that over time. But I still love this hobby. And as someone over 50, it's nice to be excited by something new. Okay, let's see. All right, and in the comments, I will write down. Alrighty, so now we're at my favorite part, and that's embellishment. Now, I'm not exactly sure how this color scheme is going to come off, but I am excited to see what's going to happen. All right, and like I said, I'm not a professional. I just play one in the movies. All right. Oh, I like that with the chocolate. Ooh, I'm happy. All right, I think that's enough of the chocolate. Let's get a little raspberry going on here. See what happens. Okay, I like it. We'll see how it goes. All right. All right. I like to put my drizzle on before I set my embeds. I don't know. Everybody has their own style, you know. I just happen to like that, and I like to put on like a little pyrotech glitter to go with it. But also remember to try and get a skin gray glitter, because it is going against people's skin. All right, I like to put on a coarse glitter and then at the end a fine glitter. Okay, so I'm going to start placing my embeds, and it's really up to you. I have already drawn lines on my mold, so I kind of know where I'm going to slice. All right, so hopefully, let me random the colors a bit. Now, I'm not about perfect, I'm about happy, which is a good thing because perfection is so very often not achieved. But I do love this hobby. I'm grateful to the soapers who kind of let me into their world without me having any kind of major chemical burns and ruining too many batches of soaps by their guidance. So I thought I would do that for my friends who always want to come over and help me soap. And I thought maybe if they saw this ahead of time, and I've had a bunch of people come over. I mean, that's one of the gifts of this stage of life when kids are grown and doing their own thing, and you get time to do your own thing. So another thing that made me love this hobby is this wonderful stage of life I'm in which I've already got my parent card stamped, which means that everybody is grown and out there in the world doing their own thing. And I'm very proud of my kids, as I'm sure other people are of theirs, and very relieved that I got to this stage without really ruining anybody. I don't think, but I guess time will tell if I really ruined someone. But I'm just really enjoying this stage of life, and I'm hoping that it's working for other people too. Alrighty, so I think I have put one in a pattern, and so now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck some in on either side. I don't know if I have enough, but nobody's paying attention but me, so hopefully I have enough to put on every side. Okay, and hopefully what I'll do is I'll come back when I've put it all in here. You don't want to sit here and watch me put each and every one in, and I'm sure you have other things to do.
All right, and finally, a way to use all those spoons you collected on all the strips to various places. I believe this spoon is from San Antonio, Texas. All right, so I like it. Remember, this is body glitter. All right, and because it's your hobby, you can put on as much glitter as you feel necessary. And I like it because it kind of looks like confectionery sugar without the cost to your waistline. Okay? All right. So let me see if I can give you an idea. I move my camera. Not the bar of soap. The thing of soap. Look. Oh, I like that. As you can see, I ran out of index, but that's okay. I'll be forgiven. Because it's for me. Then I'm going to spray these with my alcohol mix, just in case I have never had, with this recipe, I have never had any grain of my soap, but they're safe and sound. So I'm going to get the other one I did so you can see the different color scheme I used for the other one. That it is ready for cutting, and I'll show you that cutting video, but I really want to wait until tomorrow morning to cut, just because I'm learning patience. Alright, I'm learning patience. Hold on. Alright, and so this soap has a very different inside than this one. But I made the index ahead of time, and I was intrigued by the different colors. Excuse my cord. And let me get myself back in focus. Yeah, alrighty. Okay, so two different, and I'll show you the cutting of them. I'm really excited. They smell divine. Moscato by Rustic Essentials. And it's a perfect way to get that wonderful wine smell that Moscato has without the calories and without the alcohol. I don't have a problem with alcohol, but I do have a problem with sugar, and unfortunately a lot of sugar is in Moscato. So, but this makes me happy, and that's what will have to happen. So, if you like this channel, please subscribe. If you want to see all the ingredients I used, please look below in the more box. And come back, I'm going to try some more stuff. Alright, thank you. Bye from Soap Recovery.
All right, so it's tomorrow, the next morning, or the day after. I'm not exactly sure. It's time to cut the soap and see what it looks like inside. All righty. Oh. First of all, it's very, very tall. So I'm going to go ahead and find a spot to cut it out to make it more manageable. I'm only going to cut a few pieces because you don't have to see me cut a whole bunch of pieces. Alrighty. Ooh, these macaroons. They're so cute. Uh-oh, I think I may have hit a macaroon on the other side. Uh-oh. Okay. Alrighty. Ooh. Oh, what a nice swirl. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right. Now, I do feel, however, though, that I made the icing too tall or too high. I do have a problem with that. And I will, in the future, next time, not make it so tall. But I think I got carried away with it this time. Okay, so let me cut another piece, the first piece. Oh, I'm trying to get in between these. Uh-oh. Woohoo! Oh, there we go. Oh, smells wonderful. Oh, hold on. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Oh. Uh-oh. I'll show this side then. Nice swirl. Lovely top. Uh-oh. I think I lost a macaroon. I did. But I put it back. All right. Okay, I'm going to put that one there. All righty. And I'm going to cut one more. All right, I may have placed these macaroons too close. But like I said, I'm learning. Oh, in the meantime, I have to tell you about kale disaster. What a disaster. I had smells so delicious. Really pretty on the inside. I had a disaster happen, I'm not sure if I put too much titanium oxide. I'm not exactly sure what caused it to happen. But the other macaroon soap I made, when I opened it, it was so crisp and well done when it came out of its mold. But when I went to cut it, it was brittle and it shattered. And the icing on the top came off fine, but the actual soap was as hard as a rock. Hard as a rock. It was awful. And so I learned my lesson. Okay, I think it was too much titanium oxide. All right. I think it was too much titanium oxide. But that's how it is. You live and learn. And given like maybe 20 loaves of soap that I've made in the life of soap making so far, I'm having one go wrong every once in a while is not too bad. But what I did realize after I figured out what had gone wrong was that I realized that I could have taken the macaroons, because the macaroons were so labor intensive. I could have taken them off of the soap. And one of the things I learned in soap recovery is that sometimes you need to take the best that you can out of things and then let the rest go. And so I did learn that, and and it really works with soap making, and I guess it really works with life too. You know, salvage the best. You know, when things go wrong, salvage the best, and then move on. All right? So, you know, I'm learning. So, that's it for soap recovery this time. And I hope you have a fabulous week. See you soon. Hit subscribe. We'll do some more.